things do happen. Things do happen. People do certain things to you. I'm telling you, so you can't count it out. As if somebody said, "Well, this happened," you know, when they even with not Tyson Fury, but the other guy, what's his name?
Wilder.
Wilder. You know, I never seen him fight like that ever in my entire whole life. How could you got to know something got to happen? How many people forget all their skills? And when all of a sudden forget everything, and so it's something had to happen. I'm a fighter, and I know, and I fight, and I can pick back up and do anything. I can go back into the thing. Then all of a sudden, then I remember one day I got in the ring. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, something's wrong. So, but something always wrong when I get ready to get in the ring. But as soon as I strike out and start hitting people, everything come back. Right. But in this fight, my heart beat wouldn't even get high. I was like saying, I'm too calm. What in the world wrong? You find out that, you know what? You have to watch your water. You got to watch your water that you drink. You got to have the right people around you all the time to make sure that everything is right. Yep.
Oh my gosh, this is not good. Watch your water. Legendary fighter, cruiserweight, moved up to heavyweight. Olympian, Evander Holyfield, says that he has been in the ring before and somebody did something to him, which sounds eerily similar to what Wilder had told the whole world. He didn't feel well. Something was wrong. He believes somebody manipulated, spiked his water in the Tyson Fury rematch. Oh, we're going to talk about it. Listen, what up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I welcome all you guys to the channel. I'm your host, Ego. Subscribe, hit the like button. You know, I encourage you guys to do that. Now, oh my God, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. You see him, he's about to hit some weights. Deontay Wilder is in preparation for his upcoming rematch with Tyson Fury. Now, you guys heard that clip at the beginning. That is a clip from Evander Holyfield, legendary fighter, where he states that something was up with Wilder. He believes really and truly something must have been up. He says, Wilder's a fighter. I'm a fighter. I know how the game goes. He's basically saying, I know how the game goes, and I have never in my lifetime seen Deontay Wilder look or fight like that. And he basically, old media is in shambles. He basically shoots down old media's claims that Wilder is senile, Wilder is making things up, Deontay Wilder is crazy, because Wilder says he believes that there were people who were out to get him, right? Now this story from Deontay Wilder is not sounding so crazy. Again, you heard Evander Holyfield, legendary fighter, and he says he got in a fight himself. So he's not even talking about Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Google that. To this day, he's not even talking about him. He said himself, he had a fight, and he says it's okay to have some jitters and, you know, feel a type of way during the fight. He said, okay, that's normal. But this fight was different. He said, I got in the ring, and he said, normally when I start loosening up, landing some shots, I start to feel it. I start to feel it, and it comes back to you. But he said on this given time, I don't know what fight it was. He didn't really declare that. But he said this given time was different. He said he couldn't get his heart rate up. And he was like, uh-oh, what's wrong with this? And he says you can't just denounce and try to rebuke what a person is saying, especially when their performance looked nothing like themselves, as was the case for Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and Tyson Fury. Not only is that the issue, Fury has been constantly accused and criticized, including Deontay Wilder, who on Halloween posted the video that you see on the screen accusing Tyson Fury of cheating. Let me read this for you guys. So Deontay Wilder, he had been pretty quiet in terms of media, and this is after the Fury loss. This is what Wilder says. He says, Tyson Fury, be a man. Fury, Gypsy King. He tagged him. It is time for you to be a man and honor your agreement. What is this BS of you fighting Carlos Takam? Because Fury said he was fighting December 5th against Carlos Takam, and Wilder's rematch clause had expired. And Bob Arum said there was no legal recourse for Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and he's basically ass out. So he says, what's this BS of you fighting Carlos Takam instead of me? You gotta be kidding. When you were going through your darkest time, I told you that if you got yourself together, I would give you a title shot. Being a man of my word, I gave you the title shot. When the fight was at a draw, I told you I would give you a rematch. You know I was offered more money to fight Joshua, referring to the 3-fight DAZN deal, than I was getting to fight you at the time. Again, being a man of my word, I fought you like I said I would. Now, real quick, I don't want to get too sidetracked. Some people were trying to use that against Joshua, and they're saying, oh, I thought you said he ducked. He did duck. Eddie Hearn and Joshua did duck. This is later on after Joshua already fought Povetkin and Wilder had fought Luis Ortiz. You know, Wilder was smoking out Anthony Joshua, meet with me, right? And Eddie Hearn, and they was playing games offering Wilder $12.5 million, right? Wilder's team responded with the $50 million offer, and Joshua came up with, oh, the fight has to be in the UK. Now he's talking about undisputed, not in the UK, but in Saudi Arabia. So these are two different things, and I had to clear that up real quick. Wilder was later offered a 3-fight deal, presumably Joshua in one of those fights with DAZN if he fought on the DAZN network, something that Wilder says him and his team looked over and opted out. DAZN's John Skipper, who used to work with ESPN, came out and said it was their fault. They fumbled it. They dropped the ball, and he could tell when Wilder and his team left the meeting that it was going to be a no-go because they did some things wrong. Back to this. Wilder said to Fury, again, being a man of my word, I fought you like I said I would. In the rematch agreement, there was a rematch clause. Now it's time for you to be a man and honor your word instead of trying to weasel out of our agreement. Scared people run, but a scary man will break his contract. You coward. You thief. Payback is coming, trust me. 34 weeks ago. And guess what? Wilder had to chase Tyson Fury to get him to honor this contract and rematch clause. His whole team, as I mentioned, said that it was too late and Wilder was just, stuck. And old media lied on this man again, said he was depressed. They lied and said he was fighting Charles Martin, but it was Wilder and his team that stayed their course and followed Fury into the courtrooms, had a legal process, a mediation, arbitration process, which he won. But this is a clip where you see Tyson Fury's glove being pulled down by Ricky Hatton in the first fight. So I don't want to get too sidetracked. Back to Evander Holyfield. I just have to give you guys the chronological order. That's why you guys got to subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. I go over all these things. There's past videos. So it just makes it easier so I can just brush up on the cliff notes. And that's when you guys subscribe to the channel. So you can see the past information. I made videos about all these things when they really happen. So that's where we're at. Evander Holyfield in his clip at the beginning. The real deal Holyfield told you it is not out of the question. You guys see the video. Tyson Fury refuses to accept a bottle of water. Now, this is immediately at the post-fight presser after Wilder got stopped by Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was then offered a bottle of water, to which he declined because he didn't know where this came from. So he was like, nah, I ain't drinking that. And conveniently, Wilder says he was actually drugged. Look. See, look, Andy Lee. So keep in mind, the man you see on his screen is Tyson Fury's cousin, former fighter and his trainer, Andy Lee. Tyson Fury looks at the bottle of water. He's looking at it. You guys see it on the screen. His cousin, a family member and trainer and former fighter, is looking and handing him water. Tyson Fury, does he drink it? He said, who gave it to you? Tyson Fury's cousin, Andy Lee, and trainer, points to somebody, and you see Tyson Fury looking super concerned in terms of, like, where did that come from? Who's the water? And he has the bottle in his hand. And he said, who? This person? Nah, you've seen it. Oh my gosh, bro. You seen it. You seen it. He has the bottle of water in his hands. And once he finds out where the bottle of water, this is after the fight, post-fight. Once he see where the water came from, or once he was informed, he says, mm-mm. And hands it back. Now, this doesn't seem like much until you hear what Wilder said next. A simple Google search reveals that Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder claims his water was spiked before the Tyson Fury rematch. Deontay Wilder accuses former trainer Mark Breland of spiking his water, right? Deontay Wilder spiked. So you guys can see this. Wilder doubles downs on the water being spiked. Now, according to Hall of Fame fighter Evander the Real Deal Holyfield, who just got a statue placed up in Alabama, this doesn't sound too far-fetched. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad for old media. So this is Wilder getting water from his former trainer. His former trainer, y'all. He is drinking water. And he conveniently says that he felt like a zombie after. You guys see it on the screen. Deontay Wilder, he reveals. We'll put it in pink. Oh, man. You see it in pink. Hold on. Pretty in pink. Gotta go, gotta go. This is an article. Deontay Wilder reveals bicep surgery, says he felt like a zombie in his loss to Tyson Fury. Conveniently, Tyson Fury GLOVEGATE 1 and 2, where Tyson Fury was accused of cheating and manipulating his gloves, is also associated with both Wilder fights. And Fury's failed drug test before. Wilder said on the PBC podcast that he felt like a zombie. Something was up. He says he at the time when he did the PBC podcast, he said he's not going to go into elaborate detail. He said everything that happened wrong, it happened the last 15 minutes into the fight. Right? It's a lot of things that went on. It's a lot of things that I don't even want to talk about at this moment in time. But Wilder later came out and said that. I'm still reflecting on certain things that have happened. And he says, I quote, we'll put that in green for the fans. I wasn't myself. I felt like a zombie in there. I felt there's a lot of things I can't say. So maybe because he hadn't secured the Tyson Fury 3 fight, he didn't want to go into too much detail about it. I don't know. But this was an interview like maybe in March after the fight when the pandemic first started. Wilder says, I wasn't myself. I felt like a zombie in there. A doom, 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 doom. Now, from the sounds of it and Evander Holyfield, this doesn't sound that far-fetched. He says he has fights where he himself was like, whoa, wait a minute, something's going on. So he told and advised Deontay Wilder to watch his water. Now it's starting to make sense. You also have to look at how come Fury was so adamant to get out of this fight and run off to another country abroad instead of facing the man you see on the screen, Deontay Wilder. Wow. Wow. This is looking crazy. This is looking like a movie. They're going to make a movie about Wilder's life. This looks crazy. Wilder claims he felt like a zombie. Put the clues together. I'm young forensics. Forensic Files ego is back. Holyfield is telling you, watch your water. And I know people want to hate on Wilder and say, look at his legs and this, that, and the third. But Holyfield, he's strong. He's brolic. He's an Olympian just like Wilder. He's a former cruiserweight turned heavyweight. He has 2 wins over Mike Tyson. He was bit in the ear. He has great fights and great victories. He's fought the best like Lennox Lewis and James Toney. And he is saying the same thing. Wilder's not looking so crazy, y'all. Smash the like button. This is getting deep. This is getting extremely deep in the game. Oh, man. And now Tyson Fury is being forced to fight Wilder because Wilder won the arbitration. And you wonder why he's working out so hard. Wilder's going to really try to hurt this man. I really believe that. I really and truly believe that. And July 24th has now heated up. Holyfield coming out and saying that it damages everything old media has said, yo. Everything. They say Wilder's crazy. He's insane. But wait, there's more. Oh my God. Mark BRELAND did an interview and he says, I've highlighted it, spike the water. If you're looking at the tapes or whatever, you don't ever see that water in my hand. Someone else is giving him the water. And regardless of that, I'm here to help you. My attitude is when you win, I win. So this was an interview from Mark BRELAND. Smash the like button, share the video. I repeat, he says, spike the water. If you're looking at the tapes or whatever, you don't ever see that water in my hand. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. What is this? Oh my gosh. He says, if you look at tapes, you never see the water in my hand. What are we looking at right here? This is from the second fight. He had that yellow bracelet, the credential bracelet or whatever is on his. He had the same gold chain. This screen cap is from the second fight. But Mark BRELAND, I've already done a video about this and exposed it. He says, spike the water. If you're looking at the tapes or whatever, you don't ever see the water in my hand. Someone else. I'm looking at the water in your hand. I am the greatest with investigative journalism. February 8th, I made a video. Wow, Mark BRELAND lies exposed, denied serving Wilder water. He says, spike the water. If you're looking at tapes, you don't see the water in my hand. I see water in your hand. So how do you not remember giving him? Now Evander Holyfield's coming to bat and saying, hey, stranger things have happened. That happened to me too. Also, Mark BRELAND did an interview on The Fighter's Right, a UK-based company that's all in with Tyson Fury. And he says Wilder's career is done. I'm done and he's done. I'm done with him. And this is his former trainer, Mark BRELAND. Wow, the plot thickens. Share the video, like the video. Much more to come. This doesn't look good for old media. What more can I say?